This podcast is sponsored by Camera Museum of London and Tang Cigars of 44 Museum Street, London. Welcome to a Fish Out of Water podcast. This is your host, Richard Lipman. Today, we're interviewing OoopopoiooO. Hi. Right, let's get straight into it. Vincenzo, Vasi and Valeria Sturba, how did you meet?
Come vi siete conosciuti?
Allora, noi ci siamo conosciuti facendo praticamente grazie a Theremin, perché io ero giovane esperta sul Theremin, ero una violinista che ha comprato un Theremin e mi ha contattato per le
Okay, so she met Vincenzo because she had a theremin, and she was a violin player. She still is a violin player, and she had bought a theremin, and she was 18 years old, and so that's the main reason why Vincenzo already was there. So theremin was the motive and the reason why.
Un momento, volevo dire che lei lo sapeva già suonare, ma non
Vincenzo
sorry to interrupt. Can you come a bit closer? Can you, the translator, come closer to the computer so we can hear you better? Yes, even better. Yes, fantastic.
Okay.
Better.
So Vincenzo said that she already.
So to interrupt. Maybe we could start again, very quickly. To start, so we've got better audio now. Just quickly. How would O describe the music, and why O, such an unusual name? O.
Well, actually, the name is not OoopopoiooO. It's OoopopoiooO.
OoopopoiooO.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Cosa vuol dire?
È un messaggio.
È un messaggio. Un message.
Un nostro amico che ha autorizzato per sbaglio.
So it was a message that a friend of theirs sent to himself, not on purpose, but by mistake, and like by pressing buttons. I think it was in his pocket, and that's what he wrote. And so they were like, "Yeah, good name."
And how would you describe your music?
Come descriverete la vostra musica?
La nostra musica è un insieme di gioco e dadaismo. Oltre ai testi abbiamo tanti giocattoli, tastierine, violino, basso elettrico, voci, eccetera, e ci piace variare un po'. Insomma, prendiamo veramente tantissime cose, dai cartoni animati alle colonne.
Okay, so their music is inspired by dadaism, and it's they play toys and they play bass and ukulele, violin and theremin, and a bunch of electronic stuff and keyboards, homemade stuff, toys. So
e abbiamo tante influenze.
And they have a lot of influences.
Dalla musica popolare ai cartoni animati.
Yeah, they have a lot of influence from cartoon music to pop music to popular music, contemporary music, free music.
Can you name some influences, some bands, musicians, or periods in time?
Qualche influenza, qualche nome
Sì, Resident, e poi
Italia Music, Franco Battiato, poi sta il nostro la nostra
sì,
associazione. Shadow Moon, cioè ci sono tantissimi.
Taxi Moon, Franco Battiato.
he's a songwriter,
Right.
Yeah, they're very much inspired by him. And
Instrumental like non voglio
oh, adesso non mi viene in mente niente, ma in realtà è tutto quello che ci circonda è influenza.
you know, everything that surrounds them and influences them, you know. So I think they have a wide range of influences. But...
So if they hear the noise of a car, would they record it or try to imitate it?
Se sentite il rumore di una macchina o in guitarist o vorreste a straddles.
Lo facciamo già, ad esempio capita magari il Theremin, la macchina.
Yeah, they already do that because when they put music to silent movies, you know, they'll project silent movies. They would call them different festivals and stuff. They project stuff and they, you know, they put music to it, and so they imitate that kind of, you know, the car or they record different.
I see. Oh, that's fantastic. So how many hours do you practice a day or a week? What's it take to be really good at your craft?
Nessuna, nel senso che ci piace suonare, sì, ci piace la musica, l'approccio organizzativo sulla musica, non ci piace studiare la musica.
None, zero. They don't like to study music. They just no, not true. I think they play a gazillion hours, you know, but they're not. You know, they like to improvise a lot, and they like to improvise, and you like to improvise. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, I have seen some of your videos recently. Firstly, I've heard some of your first two albums. One album was made in 2015. The other album was made in 2019. There's definitely a sort of genre of experimental free electronic music, right? Were you in contact with a label back then?
Eravate con un label quando avete cominciato a suonare i dischi.
Sì, non eravamo in contatto quando abbiamo iniziato. Sì, come OoopopoiooO, però poi alla fine siamo autoprodotti. Secondo è autoprodotto, il primo sotto la Tremoloa, però è stato più perché è uscito appena con la Tremoloa, non era
un solo con la Tremoloa, e poi automaticamente quando ci siamo conosciuti abbiamo fatto un disco con la Tremoloa.
Yeah, certo. You know, yes, they were already in contact on their first record. It's on Tremoloa Records because Vincenzo Vasi, he already recorded his solo record. Tremoloa, you know Tremoloa Records?
Tell me about Tremoloa Records. Tell us about it.
Owned by Asso Stefana, great guitar player, whom also plays with Vincenzo, Mike Patton, and who else? PJ Harvey, guitar player for PJ Harvey on a couple of records. And he has his own label, and he likes to publish music that he likes to, you know, that he enjoys. And so he made a record, and, you know, he had a contact. Vincenzo plays with Asso also in a couple of bands. Mike Patton, Sturba,
Right.
and also Vincenzo said also, they're like, yes, that's the record. And the second one is actually self-produced.
Secondo è
The second one
la
is
nostra è un che si chiama O.
okay, so they published their second record, and it's self their own label that's called Op Art.
E Leopardo sono questi arti che sono sono
Okay.
ci piaceva per poter il disco del secondo disco e anche appunto sono i ritrovamenti che sembrano dei fatti storici, non riescono più a essere collocati, quindi potrebbero essere alieni come di un passato sconosciuto.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. You should listen to this. Op Art, you know what Op Art is? Yeah?
Yeah. Tell us about the theremin.
Il Theremin. Allora, il Theremin secondo me è uno strumento che ancora deve essere esplorato moltissimo perché per la maggior parte è suonato in modo abbastanza limitato, ma invece avrebbe molte più potenzialità che sono state espresse finora. Forse la persona che forse molto presente la rock, ma comunque oltre. Parliamo però di tantissimi anni fa, quindi potrebbe
però ancora ci sono delle cose da dire rispetto ai molti che sono altrettanto bravi, però secondo me c'è una mancanza di cuore nel
Yeah, so the theremin is an instrument that has a lot of possibilities, you know? And Clara was the one that really, went deep into the experimentation and see the different possibilities that theremin has. Even more than other virtuosos or people that experimented. You know, she's from what year? 30? Yeah, like 30s, you know. But like nowadays,
the first.
Yeah. And Vincenzo said that now the heart is missing out of that instrument. Like she put a lot of. Yeah. There's a lot, you know, they experimented, but she was probably the first one, not probably, definitely the first one.
And I've heard you, both of you, perform the theremin with bands. You did an incredible version of, let me just get over here. Let's go to your YouTube page. One moment. Yeah, an incredible the self-portrait for 3, the Charles Mingus cover. That was an incredible version. I've never heard anything like it. Do you have a whole repertoire for jazz and theremin?
Avete un repertorio jazz per il theremin?
Non proprio
il repertorio completo, stavamo iniziando a lavorarci e poi dopo per altri effetti non abbiamo interrotto, però ci piacerebbe fare un progetto.
Sì, un altro progetto che facciamo è New Darling, per esempio.
Yeah, they also play Little Darling, you know, and they were working on the repertoire, but then, you know, they have different bands. So it was kind of left there, but I think they do want to find time to focus on that some.
Time, definitely. Time.
In Cile, Italia, per registrare insieme al Theremin.
And on that occasion, Martin was here, so they got the opportunity to record it for 3 experiments. Yeah.
There's other incredible collaboration, and there is also the how would I put it?
Drinking?
The Shostakovich that you played on Theremin. Waltz number 2, which was fantastic. What about classical music? Do you have a repertoire for classical music as well?
Anche lì, cioè perché un po' di qua, un po' di là, non abbiamo un repertorio completo, ma ci capita di suonare brani classici.
Diciamo che suoniamo la musica che ci piace suonare, per esempio c'è anche la musica latina, che ci piace molto suonare, suoniamo un brano anche di Gara, che è differente, molto lontano dal jazz e dalla musica classica.
So they don't have a whole repertoire of classical music. Also, because Vincenzo said, they like to play music that they like.
Yes, of course.
And it doesn't have to be jazz or classical or whatever. In fact, one of the pieces played from the Indian
music, right?
Yeah, Peru, right? Sorry. Victor Hara, and so they do all different stuff.
Have they traveled to Latin America?
Siete stati in America Latina?
Sì, anche in America
Latina. Yeah. They both went to Latin America and also North America.
How was it? What did they experience musically?
Com'era? L'esperienza che abbiamo fatto?
Vabbè, in Cile siamo andati per 2 volte e in realtà quest'anno probabilmente andremo per la 3ª volta, se non quest'anno il prossimo anno, e ci stiamo proprio a casa.
Abbiamo molti amici, molti luoghi dove suonare, siamo fortunati di avere una connessione con molti musicisti, appunto in primis Martin Benavides, ma anche una band storica del paese, l'Inti Storico.
So yes, they have a big relationship with Chile, especially, and they already went out for 2 times. They are supposed to go a 3rd time this year, and also because they have friends there, Martin, and also the Beckham Ilimani Storico. So yeah.
Are they performing music there at festivals? Are they recording albums? Are they collaborating with local musicians as well on the theremin and other musical instruments?
Qui avete fatto dei dischi collaborando con la gente del posto?
Io con una band che si chiama Salvaje Nostalgia, Martin Benavides, si chiama Mattias Chinas, un rapper chileno.
Yeah, so he did, they recorded some stuff from their tradition, but I don't think as a duo they like the music. Oh yeah. And they also recorded one with Martin is there.
Tell me, how to make a living as a musician in general, how do you compete with the vast amount of noise in the dance and electronic sphere and the domination of the big labels? How does that work as an independent musician?
Come di competizione avete competere grandi labels, tutto il casino.
No, noi siamo completamente outsider.
Contro la competizione.
Viva
yeah,
they're amore.
Yeah, they're not for competition, they're for collaboration more than competition. And to tell you the truth, I'm gonna say something now. Like, I don't think they can no one can really beat them because it's them, special in their own and there's no one else playing stuff like that. So I don't think there's any point in competing. If someone wants to compete with them, I think it would get destroyed, actually.
They'll have to go on stage, right, in the boxing ring with 10 theremins. Yes.
Yeah, theremin competition. Yeah.
Who would they like to collaborate with, for example? Would they like to collaborate with Peter Gabriel or Real World Records or something like that?
Volete collaborare con Peter Gabriel?
Allora, se si dovesse
or maybe, you know, with Rai Kudo or someone like that, or maybe go into the traditional Indian, you know, into the forest in Brazil and perform there.
Pascal Comelard and tu, Vincenzo, con chi potrebbe collaborare?
Che Bastiani, Residence ancora, così quelli che sono rimasti.
You like to collaborate with Pierre Bastiani?
Però in realtà più musicisti che vabbè, belle comunque tra musicisti, a me piacciono le collaborazioni con la musica, perché noi facciamo magari la musicale, ma collaboriamo con parte visiva, appunto registi che fanno cartoni animati o illustratori,
Yeah, she would like they I think would like to collaborate with more visual artists and also they already do stuff, so
well, they already do, yeah. Visual, combining visual with sounds, and music. What kind of visuals? Are we talking 3D visuals or visuals in what kind of visuals?
Cartoni, messaggi d'animazione.
L'animazione da ottobre.
Animation, once they did it's more animation, but it's artistic animation. It's not like big budget, like 100,000 people working on it. It's more artistic.
Okay, interesting. Do you both have agents or managers, or how does it work as a musician? You know, how are you able to, how do you make a living these days as a musician? How does it work in Italy, for example?
Okay, they don't have a manager. They had it but you have a manager. No.
Attualmente dal po' almeno una forma di più siamo da soli e finché riusciamo in realtà non è facile, troppe cose varie, è difficile anche per una persona che ci segue poi inquadrare un po' cosa c'è.
No, they don't have a manager right now. They had it for a long time, and they finally, they take care of themselves for now, and also because they put themselves into promotership, and it's not easy to do so many different things that it might be not easy this time and age.
What are the future plans? Are they touring? Is there a new album coming out? Is there more visual collaborations?
Abbiamo la nostra solita masterclass che vediamo a settembre, a fine settembre, a metà settembre. Poi stiamo preparando molto lentamente il nostro terzo disco e lavoreremo molto lentamente anche
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot going on. They are touring a little bit this summer, and they're also gonna record their third record. I don't know, but they're working on it.
How do they? Yeah.
Wait a second. What else? Oh yeah, they have a masterclass in September.
Masterclass.
Yeah, a Theremin masterclass that they have every year, and people go there and learn this.
Che comunque fanno.
In Italy? In Italy.
In Italy, yeah. Bologna, right? Calderara di Reno, around here, Bologna. Yeah. Maybe we could send you a link so you can
Yes, of course. Yes. Because I'm beginning season 7. I've just created the theme tune. Of course, it sounds awful, but you know, I need something to put out there at the beginning.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Tell me a couple of other things. What was the most unusual moment in your life?
Qual era il tuo insolito della vostra vita?
All right.
A lot of them. I mean, look at them. They live normal lives.
Give us an example. A story. Give us a story. Like you're telling a story.
I mean, even making a duo that's OoopopoiooO, which came from a message someone typed in wrong. That's pretty unusual.
Quando siamo andati oppio,
when they went to California, they taken their on the poster said oppio, which means opium in Italian.
Which means what?
Opium.
Oh, I see. Okay. Tell me a couple of things. So, let me see what else. Musical influences. Where do they think the future of music is heading to? And what about AI?
To the trash can. Music is going to the trash can. That's Vincenzo.
No, è che noi siamo fuori da questi giochi perché non è un po' di per suonare, cioè noi ancora con 40 di roba e ci piace avere e farci così sopra.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. They're out of that game, you know, but, because they actually do not use any computers. They use analog and homemade, self-made instruments and oscillators, and so they're out of the AI thing as far as performing. But let me ask you, ma in generale l'intelligenza artificiale
io non mi ci sono mai ancora proprio, io sono un po'
io posso.
Qual è la tua
idea che l'intelligenza artificiale potrebbe anche diciamo le nuove invenzioni potrebbe anche essere una cosa interessante. Il mondo è pieno di dirigenti che usano l'intelligenza artificiale e quindi c'è un altro che amplificare
l'efficienza. He said something true, I think. He said that, a lot of other things, AI can be interesting and be implemented in good ways. The problem is that there's a lot of idiots around that will use it for the wrong reasons and not necessarily make good use of it. But that's the main thing.
With homemade instruments, I'm wondering whether they could perform, whether Vincenzo and Valeria can perform a quick jingle right now with homemade instruments. Do you think is that possible? Anything that they see. Just for a minute.
Che cosa?
Ora? Come uno strumento. Ma anche sì.
Yeah, we're gonna make it one. I'll make one for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we charge 10,000 euros per jingle.
10,000 euros. Yeah, I think John Lee Hooker charged. I think his manager charged $10,000 per concert. So yeah, that's absolutely affordable. We're gonna put that to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk will do it for his space travel.
Duele, pagliaccia is a drummer.
Yeah.
We're a duo.
Okay.
We're also a duo. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. And this is that analog, a small drum from India.
Oh,
Yeah.
never seen that. Looks like a tambourine.
Can you give us a second?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 8 minutes.
Ok.
8
Allora
minutes.
io prendo anche, guarda, l'iPad.
Okay. What is that? Okay. Looks like two pigs with. Wow, that sounds. Thank you. That sounds great. I'm wondering, just before we leave, is there anything on the Zoom setting that says original sound for musicians on your end?
Really? Did Zoom thought
Yeah.
about musicians? That's great.
I mean, we have got a little audio problem in the future. I mean, if I had a budget, I'd send you a microphone, but I don't.
Where should it be?
It's in the settings. If you go to audio, and then it says original sound for musicians on. That's probably the best.
Original sound for musicians on. But,
Yeah. You got it, yeah. Turn off echo cancellation, turn off automatically adjust microphone, stuff like that. Oh, there's even one called, live performance, but that's beta. How's that?
I'm not sure.
Well, you already sound better because you're closer. Do you think you can play that again?
Forse sai cosa? Si spegne il microfono.
Yeah, if you can come closer to the screen and or bring the computer closer to you, so we'll hear it better.
Yeah. What if we turn off your microphone?
No, it won't make a difference.
Okay. So
if you try that again, come a bit closer to the computer. Bring the computer closer so we get. I don't know what's happening with the audio. Oh, what a fantastic rendition. Okay, thank you very much.
Nice.
It was a real pleasure. I'll be in contact soon.
All right.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you.
Okay.
You. Ciao.
Ciao.
Grazie. Grazie. This podcast is sponsored by Camera Museum of London and Tang Cigars of 44 Museum Street, London. Thanks for listening to a Fish Out of Water podcast. This is your host, Richard Lipman. Should you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please get in touch.